Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So my name's Simon and this is the EV side, talking about all things to do with electric transport. So on this week's episode, I wanted to understand really why people don't go for electric cars, or why the uptake seems to be not as quick as everyone hopes. Now, at the moment, as of 2020, where EVs account for something like 4.5% of car sales in the UK, in general. That's obviously quite a way short of things like diesel and petrol cars. So, but that looks like that's continuing, with 2020 showing the way for a lot of people, and how clean the country and the planet can be when humans unfortunately are involved, or we make different choices with transport. I think more people are getting onto that and knowing that the benefits can outweigh a lot of the things. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why that that some people don't want to do electric, or some people don't want to buy an electric car. Now, this information is from OVO Energy. I'll put a link in the description below so you can have a full read of it. They've done a survey recently, and a top 10 reasons why people didn't want to go electric. So let's have a look at each one of those. So the first one was lack of charging points. So as of December 2020, there is around 14,000 charging points across almost 5,000 locations across the UK alone. That is a lot of charging points, and that is growing on a monthly basis of approximately 600 charging points just from one company. And we know the likes of charging hubs and the likes of grid server coming along and things like that. That's only going to get better. It's currently a lot better than when I started driving an EV 2 years ago. So bear that in mind. Have a look at the likes of apps of ZapMap and PlugShare. Even if you haven't got an EV, have a look at those and see how much infrastructure is around you and across the country of where you would normally do your drives. So the next one is expense and cost. I kind of agree in some ways. EVs are still a little bit expensive. The one I'm sitting in, my BMW i3, cost me 23,000 second hand, and that was 2 years old. New, this would have been almost £40,000 or more. So I understand that. However, second-hand market shows that you can buy EVs from as little as £14,000 upwards. Now, we've also seen recently that Cleve Motors as well are starting to do Nissan Leaf battery upgrades, taking a Nissan Leaf that would have been 70-80 mile range up to something like over 200. So actually, you could do that now. You could buy a second-hand old Nissan Leaf and have the battery upgraded. So there's options there, and the average price, I would say, will start to get to under the 20,000 mark in the next 5 years, definitely. Tesla are already looking at it, and various other companies. There's a big push from the Chinese market in terms of their electric cars, and they are cheap. So and very good with long range. So that's going to change as well. Another one, number 3, as I'm looking at the list on my phone as well. So being out of range from charging points. Now, in my 2 years of driving, I've never run out. I've got low, probably twice, down to 3 to 1% and then 0%. However, the car still had more. Now, should you do that? Absolutely not. But the same principle applies if you've got a petrol or a diesel car. Do you run that down to absolutely 0 or into the red before you fill up? You shouldn't do. I know some do, but you shouldn't do. And it's no way different. Would you crawl along to a petrol station with 0 miles or 0 fuel in the tanks? No, you wouldn't. So same principle applies to electric cars. You try and plan your journeys if you need to around charging infrastructure, or you just make sure you're full. If you own a driveway, you can fill up overnight and you've got a full car the next day. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, that one. Time taken to charge. So how long does it take to charge? Now, I'm currently charging on a 50 kilowatt BP plus, a 50 kilowatt BP pulse charger using CCS. Now, if I wanted to full to 100%, it could take me about 40 minutes. Because I'm only going to charge to about 80%, which is what I need, that's going to take me approximately 25 to 30 minutes. So actually, if you're on a long journey, you should be stopping after a couple of hours anyway, have a coffee, grab something to eat. By the time you come out, your charging's done. If you're going to shopping somewhere and they've got destination charging like 7 kilowatt chargers, put your charger on, plug it in, go and do shopping for 2-3 hours, come back, you've got a lot more miles on your car as well. So really there it doesn't take as long as people think, and actually that's only getting quicker. Now bearing in mind the Porsche Taycan is a 350 kilowatt capable car, and GridSurf and Ionity do that can charge in about 15 minutes. However, that is insanely expensive and they've only just come out. However, that technology will get better and will become more common in lower cost cars. So again, it's not a long time, it really isn't. By the time you've done all the things you need to do, your car's full. Concerns over safety. Now we've all seen some of these crazy stories in the press of Teslas catching fire and things like that, and that's very few and far between, if at all. A lot of those are dramatized by fossil fuel companies, and they're, trust me, EVs are a hell of a lot safer than petrol cars. For a start, you haven't got a whopping great fuel tank attached to a bit of metal which needs a spark to catch fire. So they've got all the security and safety around the electric infrastructure in the car, circuit breakers, all the stuff that essentially, like you have in your house, you have electricity going through your house, but you don't think that that's going to catch fire at any moment. So again, same principle. And the last one really was crashing the grid. So this is again a common misconception that what if everyone got electric cars and they were all charging at the same time, could the grid cope? Well, the national grid in the UK have already come out multiple times and saying absolutely the grid can cope. They've got the infrastructure already there. They're not even using a tiny piece of that infrastructure. And the truth is, not everyone would charge at the same time. So yes, some people would charge at night, or like me, I come out and charge publicly somewhere. I might charge at work and various other places. So it just isn't a case that holds up. It's not a problem. The people that actually run the national grid have said that as well. So don't take it from me, take it from them. They know what they're doing. They know about the supply for the country. So, you know, bear that in mind. So there you are. Again, this is from Overall Energy. I'll put the link in the description below. I just found it quite interesting, some of the reasons why people don't want to go electric. One of the good things is, however, on this same survey, that 87% of people, up from I think it was about 67-70%, did actually say that they would consider buying an electric car. So I think the tide is certainly shifting and will shift a hell of a lot more over the next couple of years. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. You know, have you got any of these other facts as well that you can add to the list? Put those in the comments as well. So hope you found this video interesting and enjoyable. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. It helps YouTube push me higher up in the chain, so to speak, to get more views, and that obviously helps the channel. Check out Patreon and everything else. And until next time, thanks very much for watching. Bye bye, everyone.